Home Impodcast time!
Well, that's right. Binford Tools is proud to present a home improvement podcast. My name is Adam. You all know my co-host, Jordan. How you doing, Jordan?
I'm doing great, man. Friday rolling again, and...
Stop saying that.
I'm just going to keep saying it. I just got my taxes done, so I'm feeling good.
I still am waiting to get a couple W-2s. The mail's it's been so cold here, and I'm not trying to date this because we're making this evergreen.
Taxes are evergreen.
It's been so cold here that the mail hasn't come in like 3 days, so I'm a little behind. But I'm excited to file my taxes, and I don't want you to say anything else, Jordan, because taxes kind of relate to my opening bit that I have planned today.
Wow. So. Okay. Well, I guess I won't say too much into that. That would have been a perfect segue, but I said surprise me, so I guess that's what I get.
Now it's time for Celebrity Net Worth. In speaking of what people get or have, I've come up with a little game. This is our third episode in a row where we played kind of a guessing game to start out.
I think games are fun. Was
this part of your generosity movement?
I'm just trying to, make things fun and generous and all that kind of stuff. So
this is a lot like your favorite show, Ellen DeGeneres' Game of Games.
I like to think it's Box of Lies and the stuff that Jimmy Fallon does.
Wouldn't know. Jordan, okay, so I did some research here, and I was plumbing the depths of one of my favorite websites. Actually, it is a website I find myself on quite a bit. It's called CelebrityNetWorth.com.
Oh my gosh, why are you going to this website over and over?
I'm always wondering how much celebrities are net worth.
Money ain't everything, man.
Wall Street money never sleeps. So what I've done is I've done some research on a wild cast of characters from the show Home Improvement. And before I found out how much they were worth, I guessed a number, and then I checked it against that number. And what I'm going to have you do is also guess that number. We're going to keep track and see who is better at guessing the net worth of Home Improvement.
And I'm supposed to just trust that you didn't cheat in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, seems good enough to me.
Sure, yeah. And this is it ranges from Tim Allen to some kind of obscure folks, but
that's good.
I think you're going to enjoy it.
I'm glad. I'm excited to see who you pull out here.
I meant to create a jingle, but I would say I was busy, but that wasn't the case.
You created one jingle ever, and that was plenty for me.
Yeah, I still might do it after show.
Do you want me just to play the Wisdom jingle anyway? If
there was a cool jingle before this bit, know that I made it retroactively. Okay, all right, Jordan. So. And we'll take turns with who guesses first. I don't want one person to kind of color the. All right, so here we go. Let's start with Tim Allen. So Tim Allen's net worth. I will start off with my guess. My guess was $80 million.
I was gonna say 100.
Jordan, it is exactly $100 million.
Ooh, ding, 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 ding.
I need to make a note here. Adam, Jordan. Making a little chart here. All right, so you're getting the first
This is just like Jeopardy all over again.
This is just like our roots. Okay, let's jump around here. Let's do Zachary Ty Bryan. All right, your guess first.
You know what's interesting? The fact that there's a website that has this information is pretty wild.
You're going to be surprised by some of the obscure people they had on this website.
Yeah. I'm going to say $9 million.
I guessed $15 million. Jordan, it's $8 million.
Wow.
Jeez, you're good at this.
You're acting like you've never everything around me, baby.
You act like you've never been on CelebrityNetWorth.com, but it's going to be like that fan fiction website where you're doing all the posting.
I can only have one bookmarked or one homepage, so maybe I'll have to get a separate browser.
New browser, yeah. New browser, who dis? Let's jump back to Patricia Richardson. Jordan, I'll go first. I said $25 million.
That's what I was going to say, so I'm going to... Friend of the pod, Patricia Richardson.
Yeah, right. We should have just asked her during the show.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been rude at all. I'm going to say 28.
30. You win again. This is really fun.
It's too easy.
All right. Let's do Debbie Dunning. Is it my guess first or yours?
I don't even know. I guess mine. 6.
I said 4. Jordan, it's exactly 4.
Oh, finally, you're on the board.
I know. 1 to 3 with, I think I did 10. We'll find out. Let's jump up to Sir Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Oh, boy.
And it's my guess first. I said 16 million.
19.
10.
Ooh. It's because he left the game.
Yeah, Jordan, actually, you know what? I was incorrect.
What do you mean?
This is my mistake. I read it backwards. All right, my guess was 16. What was your guess?
I had 19.
No, never mind. I'm just confusing myself. Sorry. It is actually 16.
All right, here comes the Adam comeback right now.
That's right.
Epic comeback. This is like Patriots versus Falcons.
All right, let's do Tara Noah Smith, a.k.a. Mark.
Thanks for clearing that one up for me.
TNS.
3.
I said 8. Are you saying 3 million?
$3. No, 3 million.
Okay, I said 800K.
Okay.
It's actually 300K.
Oh, baby.
A little low.
Low.
We're currently tied 3-3.
Yeah, that's a shame. I was getting pretty cocky, so I guess.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that you think Mark has $3 million laying around is.
I thought he was good at investing.
Didn't he open like an artisanal cheese shop or something?
It's hard to know.
I'm pretty sure he did something like that. All right, Jordan, let's get crazy here with William O'Leary, aka Marty.
Oh no! Why would they have? Okay.
My guy. I'll go first. I don't know who.
I think it's my turn to go first.
Okay,
actually,
go ahead.
600,000.
Okay, my guess was $1 million, and it's 400K. So you're gonna take this one.
All right, more than Mark. That's a shame.
Yeah, must have had a better manager.
When stardom happens.
We have 1, 2. There's a few left. All right, Jordan, Richard Karn.
Karn, man, another friend of the pod.
Definitely, definitely another one of our close friends. My guess was 20 million.
It's a good guess. You should feel real comfortable with that guess.
I felt pretty comfortable.
Say 21.
It's only 8.
What?
I know. What up with that? He did Price is Right. Or no, he did Family Feud.
He definitely did the Price is Right.
If he did Price is Right, he would have more money.
Apparently, those flooring commercials are not paying as much as I thought they would.
I thought that hosting any network show guaranteed you a $20 million.
Man, wow. All right. Well,
right now we're at 1, 2, 3, 4 to 1, 2, 3, 4, and Jordan, there are 2 remaining.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Let's go with Rondell Kittleman himself. Sam Ray.
Oh my! What an interesting one right here. Mm-hmm. 5 million.
I guessed 2. In actuality, 1.6.
Dang, you're pretty close. All right, I gotta take this one to tie.
Get this for the tie. Another one of our close friends, Jordan, Mr. Carmen Finestra.
Oh, I don't have a good range for this. Oh,
it's my guess. I said $5 million.
Oh my! Can I just call him up right now and ask?
You're welcome to blow you off.
Oh my! This is too important for me to just be flippant about. So he created the show. He's got to have more than that. So I'm just gonna say 6 and just assume it's more.
16 million.
All right, tie game, baby.
That's it, and that's all of them. So 5-5. That's how you want it to end. You know, that way no feelings are hurt.
That's right. Yeah, I mean we are equally knowledgeable about Home Improvement, so that makes sense.
I'd say how about Carmen Finestra? 16 million compared to Richard Karn, 8 million. It just shows it pays to be behind the camera.
Well, I was going to say, when you create the show, you kind of have a lot of power, I would say.
And Tara Noah Smith, 300K. That's
was that the lowest?
Than you or I.
What was the lowest on there?
Tara Noah Smith, 300K.
Okay. Well, as I said, money isn't everything.
No, but this bit was everything to us, and I hope everybody out there enjoyed it. I had fun playing the game.
Yeah, just a great. Ever since you've switched up the format of one person has to come up with what we're talking about to start the show, and then we surprise the other. It's been 2 for 2. Let's just say that.
It's good. It's better. It's better that we avoid talking about what we're going to do over the weekend or the weather. Things like that. Which I know people like, but
our audience will let us know if that's true or not. But I guess that means it's time to move on to the actual episode.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, episode 120, The Bud Bowl, and this one was written by Ruth Bennett. Did
you say Ruth or Bruce?
Well,
it sounded like Bruce.
I hope I said Ruth, but it's possible I said Bruce. The Bruce is on fire. All right, Ruth Bennett. Did Oh Brother. That was when Marty started working for Tim. We loved that one.
That was a tough one.
That was tough, yeah. Marty was really likable in that episode. This one, however, aired on March 5th, 1996. Do you want to talk about the Bud Bowl now or later?
Jordan, I want to talk a little bit about the Bud Bowl, something I was vaguely familiar with, but I did some additional research on. So, Jordan, this is per Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia.
What's that? Who's Wikipedia?
Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. If you give, for just like $3 a month, if we all give, we can keep it going for another 100 years.
My high school teacher said that I couldn't use that to cite sources, so I don't believe anything you're about to say.
Yeah, and as a former community college teacher, I often said the same thing. But it's something I like Wikipedia, Jordan. What do you want me to say? All right, the Bud Bowl.
Not enough to give $3.
No. Was a stop-motion animated Super Bowl advertising campaign first aired in 1989 and sporadically during the 90s. It served as an advertisement for Anheuser-Busch's Budweiser family of beers and featured anthropomorphized Budweiser bottles playing a football game against Bud Light bottles.
Wow. Do you remember this?
No. It sounds familiar, but I couldn't place any of the ads. So I'm going to, after the show, watch some videos, and I'll probably post it on Twitter next week. But sounds cool. I love anthropomorphized Budweiser bottles.
Yeah, that is something you wrote on your Christmas list last year for me. So
that's true.
Yeah, that does sound interesting. I didn't look it up ahead of time. I didn't know. I think you said you knew this was a thing ahead of time, and I did not. So I haven't done any research, but I, like you, will look after the show. I want to see what they're talking about. I'm sure it'll be on YouTube.
They haven't done it since 1997, and the last one featured Howie Long and Ronnie Lott.
Wow. So. Didn't they also do another episode that was based off of Budweiser or a commercial or something?
This Bud's for You or something?
Yeah. They just love
it. They like the Bud puns.
They love it. So, free publicity for Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah, like they need it.
They don't.
All right.
We're creative just like the Bud Bowl people. And the way that we show our creativity is through alternative...
anthropomorphized titles?
Yeah, alternatively called.
Yeah. All right, how many you got?
I always do 3. You know that. You got 7 this time?
Baker's dozen. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right.
Not particularly good.
Lead off.
All right. Stay in your lane.
I like that.
Thank you.
Jill Strikes Back.
It's pretty good. The Tim Taylor Empire Strikes Back.
Do you remember Dracula's podcast that he started running? Do you remember that? It was based on
Sister Act 2 Drac in the Habit?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I use that for some inspiration here.
Yeah, of course. He wouldn't mind.
Yeah. Sister Act 3, All in the Family.
What?
There's sisters involved in this episode.
Yeah, good one, Jordan. All right, here we go. Don't pin this on me.
I like that you chastise me right before you say something like that. How dare you, sir? All right, The Tool Man of Pakistan.
That's a good one. All right, last one. Spare me, Tim.
You're ridiculous.
Really leaned into bowling stuff.
Wow, you got them all out this week. I think when we did Up Your Alley, I almost did Up Your Alley 2 and then something. But we did the same thing where we just had 90 bowling puns.
Bowling ones.
Yeah.
You gotta take what's given.
That's right, and it was given. So What we're going to give to you now is an episode walkthrough. We're going to open on tool time, as we always do. This time they're installing insulation for a sliding glass door. And it's a special door. A door that closes on its own after you walk through it. And you can see where this is going to go. Tim has made a slight adjustment to the door to make it slide faster, I suppose. He's worried about salesmen getting through or mosquitoes or any of that kind of stuff. So the door flies through. You can see a track on kind of the floor where they just, did the I don't know if you call this special effects or whatever you want to call it, the stunt.
Oh, I'd say it was pretty special.
The stunt, and you can see it on the floor a little bit, but the door slides. It's supposed to go through the frame and then shatter, and apparently it destroyed a guy named Dave. Poor guy.
It's not supposed to do that, Jordan, but it did do that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The stunt is supposed to do that, but Tim does not want it to do that. And
no, yeah, it really. I didn't see this coming. I gotta say, I was pretty surprised when it happened.
You know what? I'm not excited about. They said tomorrow they're gonna have a discussion panel on sump pumps. Can you think of like a more boring discussion panel?
Maybe it'd be helpful because I only have a cursory understanding of what sump pumps do and are. So, it might be helpful, but yeah, it does sound pretty brutal.
Yeah, 22 minutes of sump pump in-depth conversation.
At least the sliding glass door, I kind of understand its purpose generally. I've used it before.
You don't need a discussion panel on that.
Well, they kind of have this now, right? Don't a lot of screen doors shut automatically? I've interacted with those.
I can't say that I have. What kind of fancy screen doors are you walking through?
I travel to the most beautiful parts of the world, and I see all of the screen doors.
All right.
I feel like I have. Maybe I'm making that up.
Yeah, you are. They are. All right. They move into post-show a little bit here, and Bud has been watching. He enjoyed the show. He loved it. And he wants to go on a bit of a social date with Tim and Jill. They want to go bowling, something that you've turned me down millions of times to go on double dates.
I haven't ever turned you down. You just suck at it.
But I like to play.
You like to you're.
It's the same reason you wouldn't play tennis with me, and I don't know.
I'm more likely to play tennis with you. At least that would be. At least that doesn't make me feel embarrassed for you when you play tennis. I don't know. Yeah, you have a good attitude about it. But you're good at a lot of things, and I mean that as a compliment because that's what it is. But you're just to watch you bowl. It just is so undignified.
When's the last time you watched me bowl?
2009.
I gotta say,
10 years. Have you changed? Did you join a league or something?
So the last time that we
League of Extraordinary Bowlers.
The last time that we bowled, did I granny bowl? Did I underhand?
Yeah,
okay.
You did granny bowl. Not at first, but you just kind of started granny bowling. I think you were showing off for the girls that were nearby. Frankly, you're trying to be funny.
I don't think girls ever hung out with us, and for good reason.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like they did sometimes. But I think you were going for easy laughs.
Adam, I don't think prank calling girls is hanging out with them. so just you're gonna have to redefine your terms here. I would say my bowling has improved. At least my form has improved. My scores might not have bounced up a little bit, but yeah, you might not be as embarrassed to go with me anymore. I don't know. Well,
I'd like to say we'll do this again at some point, but I'm just not sure. I've been burned too many times by you bowling. And I'm sure it's not bowling with you around here. It'll
it hurt your rep with all your new Milwaukee folks, so I can't let that happen.
All right, next scene.
Wait, Al gets turned down again.
Oh shoot!
Bud continues to just destroy Al, and I'm wondering if Al's going to start looking for a new job.
This was perhaps the most overt because I was like, Eileen and I don't have any plans tonight, and Bud said, yeah, you still don't. Jeez, man.
I mean,
that's your deal.
It would have been interesting to have him there if you ask me. Plus, we need Al. We need more Al. There's not enough Al lately.
Is Al just going to be less and less featured in the show as it goes on? Because that's certainly been the case this season.
I mean, now I'm starting to understand why his net worth is only $8 million because they started cutting him out of the show.
Because he wasn't paid for episodes that he wasn't in more than 2 minutes of.
Yeah, that's the only explanation.
All right, well, next scene. Brad and Angela, right? Yeah, Angela come in, and Randy's on the couch alone reading a mag or something.
I think he's doing homework, man.
Doing homework, reading a mag. What's the difference? And they ask him. Brad asks if he has a date, and he's like, "No, I'm a kid. I don't have a date.
I'm 14.
I'm 14.
I can't. I have to walk to the mall. No one can't get around.
Like, nah, I don't have a date. Good question though. They want to set him up with Angela's sister, Jessica.
Sister Act 3.
Sister Act. Oh, okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Not a lot more, but a little bit
just
more.
A tiny bit.
Randy's reluctant. Angela does her thing where she talks a lot and fast and so on, and Randy says he'll think about it. Tim walks in and asks Jill, sort of tells Jill a little bit of both.
He's excited too. He smacks her on the butt. He's hopped up right now.
He does smack her on the butt. Yeah, that was probably the best part of the episode. Asks her if she'll go bowling with him tonight. She says no. I have a lecture I can't miss. He says skip it. Can't somebody videotape it? No, that's not a thing that happens in grad school. But nice try. Eventually, Tim, he says it's going to be good for my career. I guess it's just hobnobbing, schmoozing, and so on. Eventually convinces her to go.
Yeah, it's not just about bowling. It's about the Tim Taylor empire. He talks about like Car Time and Tool Time: The Next Generation. Yeah. Neither of those sound very good, but Tim's got ideas.
He's got a. Do you think he gave Jay Leno the idea for Jay Leno's garage? Is it pulled from this? Yeah, I was watching the episode of Home Improvement, and I had a funny idea.
It's surprisingly shocking the amount of times that Jay Leno comes up for being on the show like once,
I didn't, and the funny thing is, I didn't even know he was going to be on it once when we started this.
Now he's a regular staple. We got Jay Leno corner.
Amen.
Tim eventually gets her to go because he promises her a watch, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if she's going to cash in on that. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it, but she'll cash in on something later. At the alley, it's time to go bowling. Jill laments the grossness of bowling shoes to start out. I don't ever feel like they're that gross. You're wearing socks. I don't know. They spray disinfectant. I don't know. Whatever.
Well, yeah, but also like you have this thing where you like to wear other people's shoes. It's sort of like a kind of gets you going.
If I see like someone's garage door open, I'll sneak in the garage and look around for some shoes, see if I can put them on, bring them back without them knowing. Yeah, it's a little weird.
It's more dignified than watching you bowl. I'll say that much.
I'd say they're equal.
It is. I don't know. Like it's just. I don't think it's that gross either. But it's just like an easy joke to make. Yeah. Like, duh, bowling shoes, gross.
Yeah, low hanging fruit. Tim,
bring your own, Jill.
Well, Bud and Jean do later on, but
she should have her own bowling shoes. She's seemingly quite good.
Yeah, it's too bad she doesn't.
I was thinking we should have asked her like. It'd be an interesting question to actually ask Patricia Richardson if she is a real bowler, or like if she's a real bowler. Like, okay,
fake bowler.
A fake bowler.
That's what I am, a fake bowler.
She has some kind of a bowling, I don't know, predilection. She's good at it. She likes it. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be, I mean, maybe you can DM her,
I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
All right. Tim also sets some ground rules. He says, let's not talk about psychology. It's a bit boring, and we want to keep things upbeat and exciting.
Right. Hey, you know what? He's not wrong.
That is true. And he kind of wins her over with some schmoozing himself to her. And then as soon as Bud and his wife arrive, he throws her off of him and goes to introduce and meet Jean and Bud. Mm-hmm. Like I said, they have their own bowling balls. They have their own bowling shoes. They got a bowling shirt for Bud. So they're serious. And Jean loves the show just like everyone else, but she loves how he pretends to be so inept. So,
all right, I've got to get into this.
Okay.
So I was thinking, we've heard people say this before, right? Like
that they love the show.
Reoccurring gag. No, that they like how he pretends to be bad at it. Like they think it's funny. All right, so divorce yourself from Home Improvement. But
I can't.
Try to. Okay, try.
This is a tough world to live in.
If it were a real, if like Tool Time were a real show and we were watching and we lived in Detroit or whatever, we had access to it, would you assume that he was actually bad at doing these things, or would you assume that it was a joke and he was like, hamming it up and it was part of the joke, I guess? Like, I guess you would have to assume that it was scripted and it was all like a joke, don't you think?
I guess so. I mean, they're pretty good actors, though, I guess, in that regard, because Tim always acts like he screws up. Al, he knows it's coming, all that kind of stuff. We'd be shocked at their budget for all these disasters and such.
100%.
But
yeah, and the fact that you see people actually get hurt on the show. But I mean, you would have to assume that, I think.
I guess so.
I don't know. That was just like that was a thought. I don't know. You it would be hard to believe that someone would be so bad at something continually and have a show. So, all right, you don't have. All right, we
It's
can
a
get
thought
back
experiment that I need to think over for a week.
Okay, well, I'll check in next week.
Sure.
Do some thinking on your own time. Take some walks, meditate, etc., and get back to things.
Yeah, I will.
All right, back to the scene, please.
All right, so Bud, they introduce everybody. Bud asks Jill about psych, just what Tim did not want her to talk about. But we learned that he went back to school to get his degree while he was working, and it worked out well for him. And that's kind of the end of the scene, right? I don't think there's much else to it until they just kind of move on to later at the alley. So.
Exactly right. Yeah.
And Jill is killing it.
Yeah, she always is. That's why I gotta ask her.
Yeah.
Does she have a predilection for bowling?
Yeah, she's bold a turkey. Bud is a bit frazzled. Jill is hungry. And Bud says, "Don't you dare bring food onto these lanes. Somebody always spills something, and he's too serious." And
that's like a weird... That was kind of strange because, like, no one's eating like where you actually bowl.
Yeah.
Like nobody's taking like a bunch of nachos.
They got a hot dog in their left hand and the bowling ball in the right hand.
Yeah, like that's not a thing. So like, what's he concerned about? I don't know. I know he's just being a curmudgeon, but yeah, that struck me. Like no one's taking a frankfurter out as they, they try to throw a spare. But he's a crank, Jordan.
He is a crank. He doesn't like to lose. And Tim says, "No big deal." Jill is watching her weight. Jill takes a lot of offense to that, as she should.
As she should, yeah. As she should.
And she marches off to get some popcorn with extra butter.
Yeah, defiant towards Bud, which, you know what? If someone told me not to eat when I was bowling, I'd do the same thing.
Yeah. And Bud takes it pretty well, I guess. He just kind of ignores that comment and says, "I'm going to take some time off here, too. We're going to take a break. I'm going to get a new rosin bag. And when I come back, you're going down."
I remember when we were bowling with those ladies in high school, you were doing so many like food gags. You kept like buying popcorn, throwing it up in the air, trying to catch it, just really showing off. You kept holding hot dogs in your hand and saying like, "Oh, what's up with these things?"
I like that we make fake scenarios in our head, and I swear to God
this happened.
Food gags? I don't know that I've ever done a food gag in my life.
You picked up like a nacho and you were making like airplane noises and stuff, and just like you were trying to get these girls to pay attention to you. It was weird.
I mean, usually when we mention girls, we should call them out by name just in case they're listening. So
I don't remember. There were so many. You were gunning for so many at that time that I don't remember which ones.
It's a miracle that you took me bowling all these times with all these women. But we can't remember their names or anything.
I can't help but wonder, who they were or where we were at. Yeah, I don't know. Weird. Okay. All right. So Bud and Jill leave. This is where Gene talks to Tim a little bit. Before we talk about that, I want to do a little bio. Gene is played by, and I want to say the name right, Beverly Banfield. Oh, Beverly. It's just spelled differently. It's No, it's weird. It's Bever hyphen Leigh.
Wow.
Beverly. It's just different. Beverly Banfield. 40 credits to her name. She was in a show called Burke's Law. I never heard of.
Yeah. It's amazing how many shows there are that you've never heard of,
For sure. It is weird. Or like shows that you didn't even know existed, like the Karate Kid TV series.
Oh my.
How about the Flintstone Kids? She did the Mayor of Bedrock. Yabba dabba, do not remember that one, huh? Last credit was Septic Shock in 2000. She did the voice of Miss Wetman. So this is she didn't have a lot of credits, but she's in this, and we'll never see her again, unfortunately.
And that's too bad. Your improv classes are really paying off.
I could have never made that joke before.
Yabba dabba, do not remember. All right, tell me what Gene and Tim talk about.
Bud's a bad loser, and he holds grudges. And the last time a guy beat him at bowling, he transferred him to Pakistan. And Tim's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to take you at face value on this." And this is going to color any other questions. This is going to color the rest of the episode.
Yeah, and Jill comes back, and Tim says, "Hey, can you knock it off? Bud's a really bad loser." Still later at the bowling alley, we are just hanging up at. I wish they named this alley. We spend so much time
Is
here.
this the same bowling? This has got to be the same alley we've been to. There's a lot of Home Improvement bowling episodes.
Yeah, it's important.
This is. I can think of at least 3.
I feel like we've been in the bowling alley about as much as we've been in the garage.
That's an interesting thought. I don't know. You got the one with the bully. That's a good one.
Yeah, that one's amazing.
I don't know about that. You got the one with the K and B boys.
Yeah, that one's amazing.
There might even be more.
I think that's it. Maybe there's some later on.
I hope so, man. I can't wait. I do like a Home Improvement bowling episode. People are always talking about Christmas or Halloween, but why not Christmas, Halloween, or bowling?
Yeah, it's like the, just neglected, child or something.
It's like a character.
Yeah, almost.
All right, it's next scene.
All right, still later, Bud is up, and he gets a strike. Tim goes in for a high five, and Bud calls him out. He's like, "You're cheering for the wrong team, right?" Jill goes up, and Tim tries to throw her off. He's like, "Hey, remember what I said?" And she doesn't pay attention. Then I don't know if he's trying to poke her, or he says your pants ripped or something. And instead of that working, he gets knocked in the bowling balls.
Oh no, your improv classes are pretty good too.
Pretty good. The bowling balls, and they make a nice sound effect that I don't think would ever actually happen if you got hit anywhere.
It sounded like coconuts or something, didn't it?
What?
Didn't it sound like 2 coconuts hitting together? Because that's what it sounds like in real life.
So yeah.
I guess they use the same. I don't know. I read this on IMDb. It's kind of like a Who Gives a but they use the same strike footage both times.
Yeah,
or someone claims that as if a strike can look the same twice. I don't know if that's grounded in any kind of truth or not. I'm really
glad you brought that up.
All right, we cut to the dining room table where, the best dates take place. We got Angela, Brad, Randy, and Jessica. And Angela...
You're always surprised at what these people's names are.
Well, yeah, it is confusing.
I love the way this scene starts, though, with Brad and Angela, taking pizza and, laughing and trying to put it in each other's mouth.
Brad really likes Angela.
A lot. And then Jessica is, staring at them oh, this is the perfect relationship. I wish that Randy would just stuff pizza in my face.
Hashtag relationship goals. You know what, George? Stuffing pizza in your face, that was another joke you did at the bowling alley. I remember it. You took 2 pieces at a time. You shoved them in your mouth. Like, hey.
That was the only one that worked.
That got
the nachos airplane did not work. The juggling popcorn did not work. The wrapping myself up in those really long ropes.
Yeah,
did not work either. But stuffing pizza, that always works.
You took the rope. You kept having everyone measure you to see how tall you were. We were like, you're still 5'5". It hasn't changed.
And you know what I would do? I would take a bite and be like, look, I grew.
Yeah, that was. Actually, you were funnier than I remember because I think the girl should like those jokes.
I also kept calling the pizza, be like, I'm a stuffed crust pizza.
I liked it when you took the hot dog and you held it up to your ear and you said, "No, Jordan's not home right now."
Hello, ring, 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 ring. Oh my god.
Okay, all right. Ooh, we're a bunch of idiots. It's not that funny. All right, okay. Angela won't let Jessica talk. Angela talks a lot, and Jessica can't get a word in edgewise. Randy keeps trying to engage her and ask questions, but Angela just keeps interrupting. And then there's a story about them eating, Angela wanting burger at a Chinese restaurant or something.
Yeah, and they said, who orders a burger at Chinese restaurants?
And Brad says, I usually get the burrito.
Just great writing.
That was good stuff. I think he ad-libbed that line.
Something we've actually done is actually go to a couple of Chinese restaurants together.
Yeah, man. Of course, we're two men in their late 20s. We've been to a lot of Chinese restaurants together.
Favorite Chinese restaurant we've ever been to together?
I mean, I can only think of one, and it's Empire Walk, but... Have we been to another one?
That one is memorable. I feel like... Did we go to one in East Lansing? Near the Target over there?
If so, it wasn't memorable. I'll tell you one thing about you. You don't make jokes at Chinese buffets because, that's kind of a sacred place.
Well, I kind of say that for the bowling alley, you know?
Yeah,
There's a time and a place for everything. And that is not the place.
Let me ask you a real question.
All right, fine.
When's the last time you went to a Chinese buffet? Has it been over under 3 years?
Probably over. We usually go to like Pei Wei or something like that.
I don't know what that is.
It's kind of like a fast casual, you know, like Panera or something. But it's for Asian food. It's very good. Everything's made to order right there. It's very delicious. But yeah, there's not a lot around here. The nice thing about like Pei Wei is that we know there's gluten-free stuff for Andrea. At those Chinese restaurants, you don't know what's going down.
That's true. I'm going to say it's been... Yeah, probably 3 years. Probably over 3 years. It just rips me up. Just rips my stomach up.
I'm not a big fan of buffets anymore anyway. Too much food.
Too much food. All right, fair enough. Okay. All right, well, back to the show.
The first real question you've asked me all episode.
First real question I've asked you quite a while. Home. Tim and Jill are fighting about what happened at the bowling alley. You know, this is predictable. Tough couple episodes for Tim and Jill. If I'm the kids, I'm thinking, Trouble in Paradise?
Yeah. Pick which parent you want to be with now.
Yeah, that's easy, Jill. Career is important for Tim, and Jill needs to understand that. And,
career over everything.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess he was being... It was not a great Tim performance at the bowling alley, but I don't know, this fight felt a little contrived to me.
A little bit. Did you notice what they were doing while they were fighting?
Cooking?
No, they were cleaning up all of the mess from the boys, and this just reminded me a little bit of when PR was talking about how they were doing like real stuff that parents would do.
Yeah.
It just, that echoed.
It's a good note.
Yeah, it echoed to me. That's what you would do. Like, your kids aren't going to take care of themselves, unfortunately, sometimes. So, just interesting. Anyway, yeah. Jill wasn't being flexible enough for Tim. Tim tries to throw it in her face. And like you said, just another, I don't know what he's thinking. And he's going to maybe get clarity as he goes outside in the next scene.
Yeah, he'll get some clarity. You can tell based on the conclusion of this this episode and this fight that nothing was too serious at any point, you know, because it wrapped itself up pretty nicely. All right, side yard, crickets in the winter? ? Let's go ahead and play a clip.
Crickets in the winter ?
Hey, Wilson. Am I losing my mind, or do I hear crickets in the middle of winter?
Well, you certainly do, neighbor. I brought my pet crickets out to serenade me.
Wilson, have you ever had a normal pet?
Well, I had a marmoset once. But my ocelot ate it.
You're one odd duck, Wilson.
I had one of those. Ocelot got it, too.
Kind of sorry I brought it up.
Oh, Tim. Jill told me about bowling with Bud.
What did she say?
Well, she said it was quite a brouhaha.
Well, there were no brews and very few ha-has, I'll tell you that. Did she also mention that she thought I was treating her like my appendix?
Well, yes, she did. I believe the word she used was appendage.
Well, she's in a bad mood. It's no time to correct her English, I'll tell you that. And anyway, what's wrong with me caring about my career?
Well, Tim, maybe Jill just feels that you put your ambition ahead of her feelings. You know, I'm reminded of the English critic John Ruskin, who said when a man is wrapped up in himself, he makes a very small package.
Yeah, but my grandma always told me good things come in small packages.
How true, how true. Of course, you're the one whose wife isn't talking to him.
Yeah, so crickets in the winter ? The answer is yes.
What if there weren't?
They just brought it up.
Wilson wearing a sombrero? Nope, just kidding.
I think we've got a new joke for the next few episodes.
Yeah, great.
All right, Wilson keeps these as pets and other strange things like ocelots and...
Marmaduke? No, that's a cartoon. Marmalade? Marmaduke's a dog. Dogs are too normal for Wilson.
Oh, man, Marmaduke. All right, so Jill, you know, she preemptively shared with Wilson what happened Wilson's getting both sides of the story. If I'm Wilson, I'm not believing really what Tim says. But he says, Tim says, what's wrong with caring about my career? And Wilson says, there's nothing wrong with it, but if you're wrapped up in yourself, it's a bad gift. So he needs to start thinking about other people. And about 120 episodes in, he still hasn't done it.
That's a fair point. You need to put you can't put ambition ahead of feelings, Jordan. And that's something that we sometimes do with this podcast.
Wait, I'm going to write that down.
I regret it. Our ambition to make this podcast as good as Serial has sometimes hurt each other's feelings.
I would say it almost brought us to a breaking point about a month ago, so whew.
Get out of here. For you, maybe. All right, tool time. This is the useful tool, man.
Resourceful. Close enough.
Man, what am I reading notes for a different episode? I don't know anything. All right, resourceful tool, man, which is one of my favorite segments they do because I learn things.
Yeah, this is something you would do,
Yeah, this is possible. Toothpaste getting rust out of a countertop.
That's correct. A stain maybe? Or rust? I don't remember.
Stain or either way. And then there was a second one I didn't write down, but the ketchup as a means of polishing brass. Now, I don't have a lot of brass, but I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, is it the vinegar or the vitamin C? That's what we're all wondering.
Here's the thing. Yeah, but I looked it up, and according to what I read online, it's just like the acid.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess, what is that?
I guess
more
that
vinegar?
would be the vinegar then.
Yeah, okay. Well, inconclusive. But they do fight over it. Tim and Al fight over whether it's vitamin C or vinegar, and Tim eventually pulls rank. Yeah.
He does that a lot.
He does. He's not... I don't think of him as being the boss, but I guess he is.
Until Bud shows up, which he's here.
Yeah, we're on a commercial break, and Bud is just like, hey, I'm going to interrupt the show.
I know you got like 30 seconds, but...
Yeah. Bud wants a rematch, Jordan. And Tim very quickly says, no, it's not going to happen. Jill did not have fun. And it's going to be pretty hard to convince her to do it again. At this point, Tim asks him straight up about the Pakistan deal and what went down. Bud said what his wife should have said earlier, that there was a brother-in-law who was embezzling money, and he sent him to Pakistan. He built the plant so he could send him over there. I don't know if I believe any of this.
Building a whole plant just to send a guy over there seems a bit far-fetched.
That makes Bud not a very good businessman.
Yeah. And we know him to be a very good businessman.
I perceive him as being one of the better businessmen
of all time.
On the show. Better than Harry, better than Marty, better than Benny, better than
probably Al.
Probably better than Rockefeller.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, it's not true.
He just wants to win.
He wants to win. Tim says, hey, I'd like to tell you about some of my ideas. And Bud says, I want to hear them. Set up a call with my secretary. Oh, wait, she's in Pakistan? Is that true?
I don't know, but it's unresolved for Tim.
I know. It's kind of unnerving.
A bit unnerving. He doesn't know who he doesn't send to Pakistan.
Yeah, it's weird. So, yeah, that's it.
All right. At home, Tim comes in with flowers. Jill says no. She doesn't want to hear it. A few times, and then Mark Watch. He's alive.
Mark is getting a lot to do this season.
A lot to do. He walks by. His hair is getting longer, I would say. He's getting taller. And maybe it's just one of those things where I haven't seen him in a while, and, I see him only for about 2 seconds usually, so it just always seems like he's growing 5 inches at a time. But
I gotta say, if I'm thinking about every episode we've covered, there's a lot less Mark.
Way more than I would have thought.
You think so?
Yeah. I would have thought he would have been... I don't know. I guess just... I don't remember as much, Garth Brooks. You remember when he comes on?
What are you talking about?
When he turns goth, that's such a thing that is implanted in your brain. So I just feel like he's on the show more often. And even just one of the first episodes where he's grunting with Tim or the Boy Scouts and stuff. I just remember that stuff. So I just assumed he's on the show more, but he's obviously not.
Yeah, he's not around very much. And I guess none of the kids are.
Seems like lately.
Seems like lately. What did they? Must have made Carmen Finestra mad or something.
Yeah, I guess.
Must have pranked him too hard. He wrote him out of the season.
So Mark does not want the flowers either. Tim tries to apologize to his wife, and Jill, before letting this blow over, she says, this is a pattern, and we need to break this habit here. Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit.
Sure, go on.
But, remember when Bud came around and we went to that hotel, that Japanese hotel? That was a strange episode.
That was good. They sang karaoke.
Yeah. But it was just strange, this episode.
Sure. It was, yeah.
They come to an agreement here where Tim basically will be notified when his ambition goes too far, which really lets him off the hook because I feel like he should just be cognizant of what he's doing.
He's like, why don't you just tell me if you feel like I'm being a jerk? And she's like, I just did. I do that every episode.
So a kiss, and she's ready for flowers. They're going to do something fun tonight to celebrate their reconciliation, and it's going to be 3 hours of lecturing together. Although she makes it seem like it's going to be 3 hours of something much more fun than that to begin with. So,
yeah, well, fun for depending on who you ask. Tim, I don't know, not that fun for us, but yeah. All right, final scene. This is weird, kind of. I don't know. It kind of seemed like this was not necessary. All right, so you're back at the bowling alley, our favorite set, and you got Gene and Jill on one side, and they're like, this is the life, eating and bowling, a couple of ladies out in the town, and then you pan like 3 feet to the left, and you got Tim and Bud bowling on separate lanes.
This is what it looked like when we went bowling. Two guys, no ladies around.
Hey man, whatever you want to tell yourself. I know you're trying hard to forget all these food gags, but they were real. Tim and Bud are bowling. Tim is feeling the pressure because Bud says, like, we're not going to leave until I beat you. Bud seems like a fun guy to bowl with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Seriously. Tim purposefully kind of, messes up a throw. And then there's another joke about sending him to Afghanistan or somewhere remote. I don't know.
Yeah, did I ever tell you about the time somebody threw a game or something like that? Yeah.
Roll credits, fade to black. Bud Bowl. Jordan, I'm going to get you first this time. Nickel for your thoughts.
Nickel for my thoughts. As much as I am sick of having the stupid fights, I still think this is an enjoyable episode just because I think Bud is good. I love the bowling alley, don't we all? I don't, again, there's not a lot for the kids to do. I guess it's kind of, this is like the rinse and repeat thing that they're doing all through the season, which keeps them very much like just above sea level to me. Like they're not doing anything that's really memorable or super exciting, but they're not necessarily bad episodes or just really cringeworthy episodes.
Like they're playing their greatest hits, sort of.
Yeah, yeah. It's just you just have this on in the background and you just go about your day, and that's where we're at. So I don't have a lot to point out besides the fact that I want more Al and I can't get more Al. They refuse to give me more Al, and it's frankly hurting my morale.
You should be a home improvement writer. So you thought it was pretty good.
It's all right. It's all right. It's a decent episode. What do you think?
Yeah, pretty much the same. Yeah, I think what you said was pretty astute. Where episodes are just good enough to be, they're slightly entertaining. But yeah, this is all things we've seen before. Well-worn turf to be sure. I don't know. Like there aren't. Not a lot of good jokes here. The premise is a little bit goofy. I do like Bud, so I'm always happy to have a Bud storyline. Not much going on with the kids, but I love it when they do a bowling episode. So I don't know. I don't have a lot to say either. It's slightly better than average, but probably not that memorable. Ultimately,
that's correct.
Oh, thank you.
That's correct. You are correct. I just looked at the back in the answer book, and yeah, that's right. All right. With that, we'll move on to Sean's social media corner. If you'd like to reach out to us, go to thehomeimpodcast.com. You can find us on social media at Twitter and Facebook at Home Impodcast. And if you'd like to support the show, spread the word, tell us that you love us, give us some feedback, you can go to iTunes, Apple Podcasts, your favorite podcasting app, and leave a review. That's free, but it brings joy to our heart. And you can also go to patreon.com/homeimpodcast. Support us for as little as $1 a month. You'll get bonus episodes for richer or poorer, Marie Kondo, CondoCast, and Adam, do you want to...
I gotta say, Jordan, I condoed one of my dresser drawers just yesterday with the folding of the shirts. So
wow, how'd it go?
Pretty good. Looks a lot better.
All right, glad to hear it.
Yeah, there you go.
Adam, do you want to announce what we're doing for February?
Oh man, yeah. Are we Did we agree on this? I guess we did.
I don't know. I guess so. If you've already watched it, yes. If you haven't,
I
then
have
no.
not watched it. I haven't watched it.
All right.
So
Well, maybe we
should
shouldn't announce it then.
Okay. I would still like to do it though, because it's supposed to be. Let's just tease it. It's a movie that has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is as low as
super impressive
scores can go. Yeah. So we'll see. Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we won't. Jordan, you probably want me to talk about Twitter, but we're recording these pretty close to the last recording date, so I don't have a lot new to say other than follow us on Twitter. iTunes reviews are currency in this counterfeit world. Patreon is actual currency. That would be great. Support the show. Support us, the original Home Improvement podcast. Don't fall for any imitators. All right?
Don't fall for any imitators. That is all correct again, Adam. Adam?
Yes.
It's time for the question of the week.
Jordan. You didn't like my last question.
This one's not much better.
Probably have cut it out. Let's talk briefly about the first half of the NBA season. You're an NBA head, and I like it as well. So, what are your big surprises? How are you feeling about various things related to the NBA?
Big surprises.
Succinctly.
Well, I think most NBA heads are a bit surprised at Boston's struggles a little bit with all their talent. And Milwaukee, you'll be happy. Milwaukee's kind of surged to the top there, and the Raptors with Kawhi Leonard are doing well. It's interesting to see the East have just a little bit more going on besides like LeBron is going to win the East, and that's about all that's going on there. In the West, it's interesting too to see Nuggets are better than people had projected, and it's kind of all log jammed in there, but again, still Golden State looks like they're going to be really good. We just had a big trade go on. It seems like there's going to be a few more happening. The Pistons got an all-star in Blake Griffin. There's a lot.
That's about all.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. They started off decent, and now they're not even in the playoff race. It's very disappointing, but... So, yeah, I haven't gotten to watch a lot of it, unfortunately, but, once the playoffs roll around, I'll probably dive back in again. But there's so many good games, at least to watch, which is good, and you got LeBron. Right now, LeBron's out of the playoffs. Will that last?
I know, it's crazy. No, I don't think so. He just came back we don't want to date it, but he came back recently. I don't think so. Jordan, I got buck fever here.
Yeah, you said you got a hat and you got a shirt, is that right?
Oh man, and a massive Giannis shrine in my bedroom.
I'm doing all I can to keep magic paraphernalia out of this house.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I know your daughter probably got a whole bunch of trying to think of
Stuff.
A magic play. Aaron Gordon jerseys.
Vucevic, baby.
Vucevic, yeah, great. That's a tough team to have down there. But yeah, no, it's exciting to be in Milwaukee. They had a World Series team, and now I think they have the best record in the NBA. If not, they're close to the Warriors right now. So it's exciting times. Not probably going to watch the All-Star Games. I haven't in several years, but I don't have TNT. So
that'll stop you.
I don't know drama, I guess. But yeah, Jordan, NBA, it's just a crazy sport these days.
I will say last year it was a much more entertaining All-Star game with the format changes. So hopefully that continues this year. And you got Steph Curry in the three-point contest. So
yeah, and his brother, Glenn. No, I'm just kidding.
Another family affair. Glenn Curry.
Glenn Curry. There's a third one named Glenn. He's not great.
Nobody ever talks about him.
I don't know. I mean, Glenn doesn't get as much play. I like Glenn. What do we cover next week, Jordan?
Next week, the name of this episode is about as good as that question. Engine and a haircut, 2 fights.
Jeez.
What the heck is that?
We shouldn't even do alternative titles because that's so good it can't be improved on.
I don't even know what that's a reference to.
No, it's like dun 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 a haircut, 2 bits. So it's like a saying or something. I don't know what the first word is, but ba ba da da dun dun.
It's dumb.
Well, I'll know more by the time we record.
Yeah, do some research, man.
All right, you got it. All right, Jordan, thank you for joining me, listeners. Thank you for listening, and I guess I should say take care.
Take care, everybody.